Hi YouTube, I am back. Your girl is back. My name is Anzi Somaluleke, and this is a weight loss journey channel. As you know, I've been on this journey for some time, and so far I live in Texas. I lost 12 kgs. I'm gonna check after some few months so that I can celebrate when it's like a big change. So in this journey, it takes a lot of toll on you. It mentally it affects you. So I thought today, let me just talk about the mental effects that it can have on someone. Like, can it depress you? Can your weight depress you? And do you know if that's possible, or do you think that's happening to you or not? So I'm going to tackle that today. Don't forget to subscribe on the channel so that we grow, guys. I've just started. Let's go to 50 subscribers, then we'll have a celebration, a mini celebration. Don't forget to subscribe and like and then comment. Now the question is, do you think your weight is depressing you? I've written some notes here, so I'll be looking down more often so that I don't forget anything that I've written down for preparation of this video. Uh, uh, if the answer is yes, if the answer is no, and you're like, I'm fine with my weight, I know for sure, I'm happy, I'm fully happy, then that's good. We continue with self-love, continue with whatever that you're doing, take care of yourself and everything. But if the answer is yes, or the answer is you don't know, then if you don't know, I have a few questions for you that maybe, if you never really thought about it, that maybe you ask yourself these questions mostly, and you don't even understand what's going on. The first question: do you think that you are overweight or you are underweight? If the question is yes on either, if you think you're overweight or if you're underweight, then you are falling on the part of the people that think their weight is depressing them. You just don't know yet. um for you to know, scientifically, you have to calculate your BMI, and you can check on the internet on how to do that. It's like your height and your weight and whatnot. So, but sometimes, as people, we just look at ourselves and be like, moshekile, it's not going accordingly. So sometimes, most of us, actually 99% of people, they just look at themselves and just diagnose themselves and be like, I am overweight, I am underweight. And sometimes you can just tell, there are symptoms to everything. And then, if you thought about it and it's a yes, then the next question is, do you really think about how you look more often? Like, when you look yourself in the mirror, do you go like, you don't think much about anything? Or you're like, oh my god, why is my tummy like that? Why in my shoulders, my hands, my cheeks, my whatnot? If you really think about those things more often, then you are depressed by your weight. And do you think about how you fit into your clothes? When you wear your clothes, are you more cautious? Like, do you wear like oversized clothes, or do you like really think more about what you wear? Because for myself, I remember when I was smaller, though even then I would think about my weight, but it wasn't really that thing that was like a main thing every time. When maybe I am wearing something, or I have to fit into something, then I really think about it that much. No, it wasn't like that. So sometimes it would happen, but it was just sometimes. But now it's like always, like every time I wear something, I have to make sure that we are hiding that tummy, we are hiding that whatnot. And it's really depressing. That's depressing. It's mentally straining, and it's not good, you know. So then, another question is, the something that you've always dealt with from a young age? I know for myself, when I was younger, I was tiny, but I still thought I was fat at the time. You know, I was probably like 40 some, or not, maybe 40 something, or 50 kg, somewhere there, around there. I was so tiny. I was so tiny. I was wearing 28, which is a 6, I think. Yeah, in the UK sizes. I still thought I was fat, because I would check myself with the people that were around me, and I'm like, I have a little meat and I've done those people. So this thing, it's a problem. Sometimes you just have to check it out, even from when the kids are young. When you're still teenagers, you start up from there with this whole thing, until then, boom, then you have gained weight. Even now, I think if I gained even more weight now, I would, when I get to that weight, I will look back to this weight and be like, no, you were tiny, man, girl. Why were you stressing? So it's always that thing that you have to really check about. Sometimes it's not about your body, it's a mental problem. Not that it needs a mental institution. It just needs you to do some introspection and be worried about yourself, and be like, let me, what can I do to change this? How can I change and be more positive? And then from there, once you recognize that, no, man, I'm always saying negative things about myself. Do you always do that? That's another question. If you're always saying negative things, if somebody gives you a compliment, one thing that I realized about myself is that if maybe someone gives me a compliment, I will always find something else that's not good, and be like, Shafana, this and this and that. Even if there's this good thing about me, then what about this? What about my weight? What about my hands? So those things, sometimes you don't, they go, if they go unchecked, it's gonna be a problem, because they're gonna be rooted in you, and they will become, you'll become them. You'll end up being like, this is how I am. This is, if somebody actually checks you out and be like, no, don't do this to yourself, you'll be like, this is how I am, this is how I roll, I always speak like this, it's not a big deal. While it's a thing that grew inside you, and it became a part of you, while it was not to begin with. So that's also something that you really need to think about when you think about the question: are you depressed about your weight? Do you think you're overweight, or do you think you're underweight? Do you always check yourself? Do you always worry about how I fit into my clothes, how people look at me, how somebody is thinking, when you are just on the driveway and somebody looks at you and you're like, oh my god, they think I'm fat, they think I'm this. And those people, that they have their problems in life, they are not even thinking about you. They're just, even their eyes, they don't even see you. Their eyes are somewhere here, they're thinking. So those things that you need to think about. Another thing that I would do to myself is compare. It's always comparing my current weight to the weight that I was before, when I was younger, because I was so tiny. So now I'm like, I look up to that, and so, and you look up to yourself. This is what you wanted to, you've always been like this. Then you can make it back there. As much as you can take it to the negative side and be like, you let yourself get here. If you were this tiny, why did you leave yourself to get to this place? Why did or maybe you had weight before and you lost weight. You're like, why did I let myself to get to this place? Why did I not continue eating while you were just dealing with some stuff and you couldn't eat? You couldn't do it, or maybe it's a medical problem. You just gain weight because it's a medical problem. It's not because you're eating too much. Or maybe you had like problems and you couldn't stomach anything and you lost some weight. Nah, You will never, when you are really depressed about your weight, you won't think about it that way. You'll beat yourself up and be like, ah, it's my fault. I did this to myself. If you've always been like maybe a chubby person growing up, for me, I don't know how that feels like because I wasn't. Uh, then maybe you, when you have nothing to reference yourself, then I think the self blame there, it's a little better. I'm not sure because I've never been there. What I know, for me, I was tiny, then I gained a lot of weight. So for me, the constant comparison to, like, this is how you were, this is how you are now, you must figure out how to get back there. And sometimes you're growing up. If you're growing up, you have to allow yourself to grow. You have to allow your body to do its thing. Your metabolism, it drops when you, as you grow, it drops. When you're younger, you have like very fast metabolism than when you are getting older. So some of these things, you have to put them into consideration before you kick yourself and be like, no, this is not good, I hate myself, you know so if now that we are done with those questions, and now if you are actually mentally challenged about your weight, it sounds so bad, like you're a crazy person, and you're not. Nobody is. Once it's like this, and then what can you do to change that? you know what steps can you do? you know just a foundation. I'm not going to give you like the whole 360 turn around to be like, today you were like, you felt like this, and then tomorrow you wake up and be like, I'm good, I'm gorgeous, I'm great. That is, it's a journey. That's why I call it a weight loss journey. It's not just weight loss journey, it's a whole self-love journey. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. So first, this is what I think. And this, according to me, it's not according to experts or anything. It's according to what I've encountered in my life and what I thought and learned. So first, you have to ask yourself if you'll ever be able to accept yourself the way you are. If anything, you will never change. Not like, there's no way that it can be like impossible. It's always possible to lose weight. It's always we are share we don't discourage people here. It's always possible. But in case, let's take, you never took any steps in your life, will you ever be happy with yourself? Isn't Maybe it's like it's a medical problem. Will you ever be happy with yourself? If you will be happy, then you do the self-love journey. You keep on loving yourself, and you until you accept who you are. And but if it's a no, then you must think, what can I do then to get to where I think I'm gonna finally accept myself? Because throughout this whole way, whether you are big, whether you're small, there's always gonna be something that you're not happy with. That's it. If now you're like, hey, I'm not happy with my stomach, when you are tiny, you are gonna be like, my legs, my knees, my my toes, they look big now. There's always something to really think about. So I think you have to first accept yourself right where you are, even when you're like, I don't think I'm gonna be happy with this. But first, you have to accept yourself, so that the journey to where you're going, it does not get to be like harder than it's supposed to be. Like the frustrations, with the weight loss, imagine one day you have like this craving, and it's so bad, and you cannot even ignore it, and then you eat just a tiny little bit of something. If you have not accepted yourself, you're gonna be like, now I'm gonna gain 15 kgs from this, and then I'm back to where I am. Then you start sabotaging yourself, saying bad things to yourself, which is something that we don't want. Like, yeah, we want, I want to encourage people to accept yourself from where you're starting, so that throughout the journey it's gonna be even beautiful, because the tiniest little achievement that you're gonna have, you will celebrate it as if like Jesus just came back. That's it. Then hey, my notes, they're all over the place. Then if then after you have to check, what can I do, what can you do? Is it your diet? Can you do something about your diet? you know can you do something about maybe exercising? What can you do? Maybe there's something that's gonna hinder you for exercise. For me, I have a knee problem, so I used to go to the gym, right? But due to my knee, I couldn't be like fully effective there and stuff like that. So what I chose is to uh, take walks, because you know physically I can be able to do that, and it's not gonna strain me that much, such that then my knee breaks and then I have to stop doing anything at all. Don't put pressure on yourself. Don't make yourself do things that you cannot be able to do, if maybe medically you cannot be able to do them. If the doctors have told you no, you shouldn't run around 24/7, just take a walk. Just take a walk. Do something else. Walk around. Just keep your body moving. If you can be able to go to the gym, go to the gym. Get a trainer, and they're gonna help you. They know more. They know much better. They know what to do. If you don't know what to do and you go to the gym, according to me, it's not gonna really work, unless maybe you get a gym friend that has always been there and they already know what they're doing, because it's not easy to have willpower every day to do everything to up to a 1000% full participation. If you have just started, there are days when you don't want to do anything. So then do not put pressure on yourself. It's a journey. It's not a quickie of anything, of any kind. Do not put pressure on yourself to be like, this. You must have goals, yes, but have realistic goals. Do not have like, within 2 months I should lose 15 kilograms. Yes, you can, but when you don't, what's gonna happen? Yes, don't set yourself up for failure, but at the same time, be realistic. Be realistic. Just keep, this weight thing. It can take you 2 years, it can take you 3 years, as long as you get there where you want to be. But throughout that 3 years and that 2 years, you have to keep a positive mind that I'm gonna get there. And with even if when there are setbacks, there are going to be setbacks, yes, but as much as I know that I haven't given up, then you are good. You are gonna get there and you'll be fine, and you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself here and now, and then take it from there. So that's it from me, your girl Anzi. So please don't forget to subscribe, and we get to 50, then we're gonna go to 100, and then we do it like that. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you next time on the next video.